Oh, that's fine because, like I said, I'm leaving this channel behind because obviously commentary has gotten to me and it's caused me to lose sense of moral directions and just lose track on what's right and what's wrong.
No worries. But one of the questions that has been brought up, um, are you aware of any process of pedophile hunting in the server?
No. Me personally, no. I've only been a member of that thing before I left today for, let's see, probably 8 months, 8, 9 months. And really, a lot of it really came down to if there was an accusation, we had to take it seriously and confront the person. And based on that would be the decision on whether or not they were a pedophile. But it was very misconstrued. There wasn't like, hey, can we see some evidence in most cases?
All right. And to add up to the question in here as well, because there's multiple flying out for the chat right now.
Right.
I recall you actually missed a question, so let me actually scroll up.
Take
Uh,
your time. Like I said, this is the event that made it me want to call this out was when they had a call and they were discussing like how we need to better operate the server, and I half expected a lot of the times they were going to probably bring up what was going on. And one of the things that I remember, which was something Lio would always preach, is that people need to take responsibility. You guys probably heard it in his videos, probably heard it in his streams and the calls that get posted. Take responsibility. You're an adult. You're this. And I'm thinking, okay, they got to bring this up and then maybe we can do something about it. But instead, they stayed silent too many of the times. And I said, you know what? I'm not going down like this. I am not going to have someone tell me how to behave, what I should do. I'm going to do the right thing and I'm going to do what's right. Because even if I'm not forgiven, I'd rather go down doing what's right than to stay silent knowing I'm wrong.
can you evaporate more? Can you evaporate on that?
Like one particular.
Yeah. Just an example, really.
Okay, so to point it out, that call had been sitting very uncomfortably with me for a long time. And I even brought it up in a Twitch stream, which is now gone because this was before I started more so going into streaming on Twitch with my live stream, the one that I have technical errors. And before it started going on Twitch, I was letting people know that that call was so disingenuous and so disgusting. But we're trying to like move past that and acknowledge it. We were told by acknowledging it, we were accepting that we did something wrong. But it sat on me for so long, and for it to get put back out there, I just realized right there and then you can't escape what you've done. You can't escape what you do that is wrong. And I sat on it for a while. I even went into defense because of Lio. And then after like saying, you know what, shut up for a second and start thinking, I realized, holy crap, I was in the wrong the whole time. So I got to make amends. Whether I get accepted for it, whether people understand and forgive me or not, that's irrelevant.
All right. No worries. I just wanted to clarify real quick. People within the chat or in the VC can actually start asking questions in the front launch chat, and I'm talking about the open chat, or they can also talk about it in the gossip and drama chat. This is only a quite. This is basically only a place where technically we want to calm things down and make sure everybody gets their questions ahead of time so that it doesn't clog up the storm that it is already a shitstorm to begin with. But if anybody wants to have the opportunity to talk right now, and to let you know, I am recording this. Feel free to question. Uh,
Hi.
go for it.
Hi. Uh, I just want to know because I think you mentioned you want to like sort of leave the commentary community, or are you still going to continue making videos? Or are you going to continue separately from the commentary community?
I am leaving this channel. Sorry about that voice crack. I'm leaving this channel outright, but it's going to stay up permanently for context and to let people know, like, so that way it's way easier to archive it. It's going to stay here, but I'm leaving this channel altogether. I have done way too much damage, and it's irreversible. So I figured a clean start into something different. That means no more commentary. Obviously, this is not a place for me to be, and this would be me moving on. Obviously,
All right. I'm assuming that's the question. Okay. Koba Commander.
Yeah.
All right, no worries. Koba Commander. I'm pretty sure you have some of the bits as well, considering you are particularly involved with that. I was wondering, do you have any questions that you could say to Tek-no?
No, first thing I'm going to say, I'm glad you're taking accountability. It shows that you're more of a man than Laya will ever be. Number two, I hope you have the best future coming up. But I have to ask something personal. Does Lio do these streams just for money? Because he loves to put in super chats and Patreon in there.
that one would be tough to answer because maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, but um I can't honestly confirm that. It wouldn't surprise me, but I don't want to say anything that might be misinformation.
Yeah, pretty much. Just take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people do streams where they have super chats, and that doesn't automatically mean in my eyes that, oh, you're just doing this for money. This could just be um maybe he just does, maybe the super chats are so people can get their questions read. Who knows? But I'm not going to jump to any conclusions.
All right. And Sena John actually asked a question on the front lounge. Their question is if any member of this from the Senate has apologized or shown any disagreement with how the call was handled.
Um, no one has been discriminated or silenced from the call, but from what I am gathering, they are kind of just expecting people to just ignore this, kind of like they're treating this like any other commentary community drama, which is if you just ignore it within 2 or 3 days, then it'll go away. But I don't think a lot of people understand, and this is something I was like thinking to myself. I said, this whole situation could have been maybe resolved or at least died down quicker if they both just said, you know what? We're sorry to Rosa. We should have never said the things that you said. We understand that you still did something wrong, but that was not our place for us to be talking like that. So we're sorry. They could have easily just avoided this. But what makes me upset about this whole thing is that it's taking me coming forward, me, before I leave the commentary community and leave Tek-no. It's taking me to come forward for a 37, 38-year-old man to to come forward with all this.
And another question from the chat. Do you know if there's anyone else who is intended to cut ties with Lio in light of the impending shitstorm?
Not that I know of. The only one that's cutting ties is me. Maybe I'm not cutting ties for um maybe I'm not cutting ties in the right way because, like I said, I'm leaving Tek-no to go start a new channel with my girlfriend because she's pretty ticked off for what I did, and she's saying, that's it, you're going to do the videos that I do, and you're going to, be regulated by me. You're not doing dumb shit like this again. So yeah.
No worries. It's actually a great thing that you step away from commentary because, god damn it, dude, I fucking hate commentary because I usually get lumped in with that kind of shit only because I was affiliated with Fox Mafia. But I get you, man.
Yeah, well, if this is being recorded, whether it's being used in the future for video, the message to the people in the commentary community is just, don't make the same mistake I do. Just because someone is agreeing with you doesn't mean they're a good person. Just because they are agreeing with you or siding with you doesn't mean they are in the right. Okay, you got to have your moral compass, whatever you believe in. So you cannot go in expecting people to just say, oh, well, I got to defend this person. I made that mistake. And it's because, in a sense, cult mentality. You believe that because other people side with you and are friends with you, they could never do anything wrong. You have to understand that just like you would in real life, you have to hold those people accountable. And I'm doing that right now. Whether or not Rosa accepts my apology, that is not my decision. And it is up to her. If she says yes, that's cool. At the end, if she says no, I accept it. Because at the end of the day, that was not okay. That was not, I should have never said what I said. And I gladly answer the question of why I said what I said.
Alright, well, Global Commander wants to ask something as well. But go ahead.
Oh, well,
Did you know?
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Did you know that Rosa had epilepsy and brain damage as well? That she suffers grand mal seizures.
Yes, actually. So to answer that question, if just out of curiosity, if you guys have seen my channel, you're familiar with the series of mine, Internet Horrors, correct?
I was mentioned throughout the AOX, but yes.
So she actually helped me a little bit with my third episode on Lily Orchard. She actually helped me out a little bit, and I would actually talk to her somewhat on Twitter and on DMs. And one of the things, not DM, sorry, my bad, on Twitter. And one of the things she would mention to me when helping me was that she did have epileptic seizures. Now, my Twitter comment where I'm like gatekeeping on autism, my God, that was cringy as hell, even though I am autistic myself. The reason I should have worded it more professionally, that I don't know if she does have autism, because she would kind of switch out a lot of the things that she said she had. The only thing I could let people know that was confirmed was that she did have epileptic seizures. She would even tell people that. I would even see the posts that she would post when we followed each other. And she would mention that it's a lot easier for her to type rather than respond, because the seizures had done so much damage onto her brain that her cognitive ability to respond quickly had been delayed.
Okay, can I add on and ask, did Lio know about the grand mal seizures, or did anyone in the Senate that you're aware of know before the call?
As for people being aware, probably not. The one time, I believe the one time that everyone in the Senate knew about the seizures was when she brought it up in the Lio video, the one where it's his channel, where he brought it up. And it was, of course, him making it clear that he didn't care that she had it.
Yeah, pretty much. I was going to say that, by the way, too. Lyle basically withheld that information during the second call, which I uploaded.
And I have a part two to the question. Did you also know that Rosa Ray Ramsey was a victim of sexual assault as well?
No. That one, I gotta say no. That one was brand new.
Yeah. She even brought it up in one of her tweets, actually.
Was it the recent one?
Yes. If I'm
yes. Then, in that case, no, I did not know that. In fact, when that came forward, I think that one hit even more, because now hearing what Peaches was saying and Lio was like, oh my God, now this is even worse. But of course, she explains it later on in another tweet that the problem with her epileptic seizures and her damage to her brain is that sometimes she'll forget to mention things to people.
Hi.
Well, she did actually mention in the 4-hour call that she had memory issues due to seizures and the medication she took.
I must have missed that. So to explain in the fourth Senate call, when I'm obviously in it, I think I enter an hour before it officially ends after the Ponder Sprocket thing, because I am in that call. And I entered in later. So a lot of the stuff that I ended up hearing later on was what is like really fucked up.
I mean, I'm gonna be real here. I don't really have much of questions. I was kind of letting chat to actually fill in the questions for me, and then I can probably do that as a follow up. But I actually do.
Well,
Go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say, there's no other questions, what I can do is I can stick around on Discord for a while, and I plan on staying, keeping the Twitter up for a little bit longer so people can get more context and still see the posts that I made. And then obviously I'm going to get rid of it, but the channel is going to stay up forever in case anyone needs the context to anything.
All right. And I do have a question. Since I am recording, actually, just to make it clear, do you mind if I upload this to my channel?
Nah, I feel like it's the right thing to do.
Okay, I was just curious because usually people don't like certain bits of interviews being placed down, especially when I don't usually partake in prepared interviews like this, because I was not prepared for you joining, but the chat is just basically doing the answering for me. And I'm actually kind of glad you kind of just clear the air and take accountability on certain parts.
I do got one thing.
Go ahead.
Because I know you mentioned it in the chat that there was a call that was more private. It wasn't in Senate between Rebecca and Lio that was recorded, but it wasn't released based on Rebecca's request. And I want to know, why would Lio respect Rebecca's request after all the shit and grief he gave Rosa Ramsey for, what was it, 2-3 videos plus that 4-hour call?
That's something I can never answer because, when you really think about it, it's weird because as I was explaining to everyone in the chat, and I explained to, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, Coda, it's so strange that Rebecca, of all people, was given grace and given this privacy, but Rosa and others were not. And even I sat on that for so long. I'm like, wait, why is her call private?
And I also do want to question this too. Exogen actually already questioned it for me, but has anybody reached out to you after you left? Within the Senate, of course.
Not that I know of right now. I thought Lio was trying to get into contact with me, and I started freaking out because I'm like, oh, great. Like, I don't need this right now. I just want to go on and leave. I want to get the heck out of here before things get out of hand. It turns out it was a false alarm. I thought it was him, and then it just turned out that I was just being paranoid. And again, that's what makes Lio, in a sense, intimidating, because the way he operates himself, you're led to believe he can take you down. He will put you down if he needs to.
No worries. I only want to ask that because usually I don't like questions that are related to writing out the sentence, because at that point, right, you can just join the server for yourself and then have that experience for you. But regarding to the call question that you have, apparently, have you actually listened to the Rebecca call at all?
Yes, I have, because if you go to my Rebecca Starlight video, I use audio from that call. Now, at the time, I didn't know it was because it was actually private. So I could only use clips. So at the time, I didn't know it was a private call.
And have you... Go ahead.
I was going to ask, is there a way you could share with anyone else if they needed to that full call, or do you not have access to the full call?
I can go and look for it in the DMs to go find it, and then I can post it right here. So I can still keep answering questions and see if Lio's link is still there.
I think you should send it to Enla. I would be fair here, because usually when it comes to other people being involved with this chat, people can take that maliciously.
Oh, right. Okay, then I'll send it to Enla. And don't expect there to be any visuals, by the way, because it's just a black screen.
No worries. It's a good
so let me
placement.
go look for it, but keep asking questions.
Yeah, it's a good placement for audio anyway, so you're good.
I was actually coming here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home.
No.
Jesus
Let's
Christ.
see. Let me look up. Let me look up for Lio in the DMs. Going on my phone here. Let's see. There's got to be something. There's like a link. I think this is it. Is it still uploaded? Hang on, it's loading. Yes. Got you, son of a bitch.
All right. Feel free to send that to Enla if you want. But hey,
I know
Neil.
I trust you guys. I just want to make sure, please make sure that nobody's yelled at him or anything.
Yeah,
please.
I'm making a shirt, Neil. Don't worry.
Well, that's
thank God. Thank you,
that's
Nerd.
the thing. If anyone does want to give me shit, I'm going to take it because I am not a guy who's going to sugarcoat what I've done.
I don't think
No,
technically.
no, I'll say something.
Okay.
No, I watch your channel because I was hoping you do an internet horror story on King Cobra one day. And after this call with Rosa, I was upset at you, but I see you're doing the right thing, and I can't hold anything against you because we're all human. I made mistakes. Everybody in here made mistakes in the past. So I'm willing to forgive you on this.
You deserve room to grow. You're fine.
Well, yeah, but at the end of the day, I don't want people to forget what happened, even when I move on, because no one knows who's behind the Tek-no face. No one knows my real face. No one knows my real name. But at the end of the day,
no one needs to know.
Right, no one does. But at the end of the day, this is still something that needs to be discussed because I'm always going to know what happened.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, I'm always going to know what happened. And I am going to live with this for the rest of my life, even if Rosa forgives me. Because I'm going to have to live knowing that, as I said in Zay's thread, no matter what, you can't take back what you said. The only thing you can only do is keep moving forward and learn from your mistakes and don't do it again. And if you do it again, at that point, you are showing you can't change.
Okay, I just want to quickly interject here. You can also send the link to me so I can actually archive it.
Sure thing. And let me just find your account on here. I still have it using Discord.
Also, my question, you didn't answer the second part of the question. Were you ever going to do a internet horror on King Cobra?
Honestly, the series was meant to go on for as long as it could until I ran out of people who could be talked. And it's because of that series, I think it kind of got me into somewhat of a lot of trouble because, like I said, Rosa did try to get Zaid on there. And what Zaid did was very stupid. But I also had to make clear with her, internet horrors covers abusers and criminals, like the worst of the worst. Not people who are like, obsessively online to the point where they're just being stupid. That's why I'm always like touchy about who I put on there, because it has to be someone who is considered so horrific that you need to learn, don't ever be like this person.
So Cyrax was an event. So Cyrax was going to be an eventuality.
Oh yeah, he was going to be in season 3 actually.
Darn.
I do have to ask one more thing. I think this is the last question I'll have. Do you plan on, I know you're going to leave your channel, but do you think you plan on making a final video statement of you leaving, or do you plan on just letting it die out quietly and not make any final statement or whatever to the audience?
I think on a personal level, this is just my perspective. Maybe it might change. Maybe I might make a community post about this, but I feel like based on the fact that I already made my Twitter post and I left the Senate, which means everyone was aware that I left, because you know how Discord will tell you that someone has left. They're going to know that I'm already talking about this, and they probably already know that I'm giving as much information to anyone who will listen, because when you're convinced again that all these people are on your side and they're morally good people, you are convinced that you're on the good side. When in reality, the commentary community is literally nothing but a civil war of people just trying to say, I'm more moral than this person. No, I'm more moral than that person. And it just becomes a big, huge back and forth slap fest to the point where people create their own communities to have people stroke their ego. So the video, I think, would already be like just looking for desperation into looking good. I feel like the Twitter is already like, look, I've said my piece and I can't do anything more.
Be honest, I'm
On
gonna.
top of that, if
I was part of the commentary community. I'm gonna be honest. It is a den of snakes.
But
Mhm.
more than that, if Tek-no makes like a video, right? Tek-no makes a video, and the Senate sees that, they might just flood his fucking comments or try to harass him or some shit. So like,
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, like while I feel like it's respect for his audience, it's also like his own personal safety at this point because of how they are. Like,
Oh yes, I
yeah,
I
like
understand that too.
even after my own Senate call,
Yeah. So
and this wasn't
also,
enough for people. Was I stabbed myself twice? That wasn't
yeah,
enough for people in there. Like
yeah. So
they genuinely will go after him.
to anyone who might have missed this too, the reason I'm also nervous is because a long time ago, this is not based on the Senate. This is what led me to going to them for help on a certain situation. So to give my positions on things, I'm very pro LGBTQ. I'm very pro trans rights. I'm very vocal about that stuff. I'm very vocal about it on my Twitter. But there was one person who I was getting into beef with on Twitter because, being commentary mentality, I felt the need to always get myself involved in stuff. It would turn out this guy would end up like stalking not just my girlfriend, but me. And he started to impersonate me on Twitter. He was using my face. He was using pictures of my family. And it was getting out of hand to the point where I actually had to tell the guy to stop. And I went to Peaches and Lio, who I thought were my friends, and asked them that I needed help. They basically didn't do anything. Lio told me, oh, just ignore him. It's not like he can hurt you in real life. I'm like, dude, do you not understand? This guy's impersonating me. He is pretending to be me. He is saying to people that I am, Tek-no. He is saying my real name out loud. The only reason the guy ended up stopping was because I basically had to talk to him. And we both agreed we were both immature a lot of the cases. But now they still have the screenshots that show my face and my real name.
Tek-no, is this the situation, like those screenshots, you went to Lio and them about it? Is that why
Yes.
you're paranoid? Okay.
Yes, that is why I'm paranoid. Now, do I think they're going to do anything? I think at this point they realize they're in trouble. They probably won't. And if they have moral that they say they would, then they won't do anything.
Did you disable comments on the videos?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
All right.
So, sorry, that is that a clear my throat.
I had to do the same thing. Don't worry.
But is it like even Tek-no, like when he speaks, like he's done as he said he's going to do. He is not made excuses. Like I'm willing to say, like, dude is genuine. Like this, like I have a lot of respect for you right now, dude. I just want you to know that before you head out, whenever that may be.
I appreciate that, but I don't. I'm just making it clear. I don't want respect. I want accountability. I want to learn from this. That's why I'm leaving this channel to go start a new one. It's going to be just fun stuff, wholesome stuff, and she's going to be in charge because I'm not doing this shit again, and I'm definitely not going to be siding with anyone ever again unless there is undeniable proof. I have made too much of a fool of myself. The plan is the channel is going to stay forever because people are going to want the contacts. They're going to need to know what's going on. If there's any misinformation, they can for sure go over to my channel and they can be made clear. Keep in mind, this guy at one point was defending Lio and Peaches. So this is confirmation. And the Twitter pages is obviously going to go away because, well, actually, to be honest, I want to get rid of it because just bad memories. And second, I don't want to get scrambled with a bunch of Twitter notifications because my personal account is connected to it and I still get notifications.
I mean, to be fair here, actually, and be more charitable to this, I actually do actually appreciate you coming in and actually coming in the server to a line of questioning because that is actually a form of taking accountability for something.
Well,
A lot of people wouldn't do that.
not every accountability call has to be
Like a screeching match.
yelling. Yeah, it doesn't have to be us berating you and hating you.
mhm.
Like owning
And
up and like you're leaving your entire channel that you've built up for what? How many years? Like 4, I think,
5.
maybe 2. Yeah, 4 or 5 years. You're leaving that behind because you realize that, just like how I left commentary. I just do music now for the most part. It's okay to take accountability in ways that aren't harmful to you.
Or
That's completely
malicious.
fine, man. Yeah, it's completely fine.
Right. So,
Clearing
Now,
up misinformation does a lot more than you probably think it does.
now,
well,
if let's say Rosa is watching this, it's going to be watching this upload. Do you have anything to say to Rosa?
just simply to Rosa, I've got no excuse. Obviously, I still don't like what you did because, reasons. But at the end of the day, what Lio and Peaches did to you was not okay. It was not professional. And how I talk to you is something that is never going to go away. But I hope you do find peace. And if you choose to accept my apology, that's great. If not, you are free to do so. But at the end of the day, I hope you get some form of justice. Because if I can't give it to you, someone else is going to. But I am not going to be standing by the people who hurt you, and I'm not going to be the person that hurt you as well.
And I will say that one technical errors episode with Lio talking about people using villain avatars, that was so cringy.
Okay, that's relate to the bit, but
All right, sorry.
you're no worries. But
I just want to say, Tek-no, I don't know exactly why you reached out to me specifically, but thank you. And I hope that I helped, in some way with this. And I'm very happy that you were able to say your piece and apologize and have a place to talk without being screamed at while you take your leave of absence and to grow and heal.
Correct. Yeah. So I know I sound like a broken record, but like I said, I could not sit on this for too long. And that Senate call where they were just completely ignoring it, and then Peaches going into hiding like that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I said, that's it. I am not going to stay silent on this. If someone has to grow some cojones and start, bringing this up, then I'm going to do it. I don't give a rat's ass. Well, okay, I do, but I don't give a rat's ass if they come at me. I will start going to people with information on this, even if it has to go to the people who I still don't like. Even if it has to go to them, someone needs to know what's going on in the server. It's getting out of hand, and if this server gets any bigger with the people that it has in it, then someone is going to have something bad happen to them. And I'll be damned if I have to be associated with that. That's why I'm getting the heck out of here. It's time for me to move on. No more commentary, just simple vlog videos, and just live my life. And just, no more trying to act like a predator hunter or a hero in YouTube. At the end of the day, just make videos for fun. And if Lio wants to give me shit for it, he wants to call me a traitor. If Peaches wants to call me a traitor, then they can go to hell.
oh, speaking of which, I actually do have a rebuttal to that. Do you have anything to say to Lio at all?
Yeah, grow an actual conscience, please, because I am not going to sit here and have you go into my calls and then you go into all of these Senate calls and tell people about taking responsibility. Meanwhile, you're deleting comments and you're ignoring people about this situation. You could have easily fixed this issue, fixed this entire shit by just simply coming forward and just saying, you know what? I still don't like what Rosa did, but I should have never acted the way he did. And let me make one thing clear to the people who are defending him. Simply saying I could have handled it better is not an apology. Simply saying I could have handled it better is not you acknowledging it. That is literally you just saying, yeah, I still stand by what I did. I just could have done it a little bit better. You're still standing by what you did. And I hope one day for your sake, because you say you're a father, whether it's found family or anything, you say you're a father. Well, I pray to God that you become a better person from this. But I'm seriously having doubt. So, Lio, you want to come find me? You want to come after me? I'm ready for you. I'm not going to let you bully me, nor am I going to let you take this out of context.
All right.
You have anything to say to Peaches?
No. Let's not ask that. That's not. But
No.
All right.
Yeah, let's not ask that. If anybody has a line of questioning that they want to like get their find up well off, and right now is the good time.
I just wanted to know, I know that Lio knew that Rosa wasn't a mod. Did the rest of the people in the call know that she wasn't a mod, or was it just you and Lio didn't know or knew that she wasn't?
I knew she wasn't a mod because she made it clear in my video. I'm pretty sure Lio did. But I am also convinced it's mixed, that some people may have known, may not have known. It could be either or.
I want to say it was actually because I watched the full 4-hour recording. That Rosa did mention in that 4-hour call early on, around the same time she mentioned her seizures and medication, that she was not a mod and that she was just a friend of Rebecca's that was in the server.
Yeah,
but
that can be confirmed also in the first one. You just literally listening to the introduction. She says, "I'm a friend of Rebecca Starlight." That's it, not a mod, a friend.
If you know, in that 4-hour call and the live stream, the videos, Lio talks about having evidence. Like, she'll say, I wasn't a mod, but then he'll say, yes, you were. I have evidence. Do you know where this evidence is? If it is there?
There is a person, I think he's misconstruing them. You might be able to find it. Are you familiar with the Twitter page Blaze? The one that also Blaze,
I'm in contact with them.
Yeah, Blaze was given screenshots that did show that Rebecca was in conversation about the Necopon situation. Those screenshots that showed, and they were being told, like, don't focus on it, don't worry about it, just ignore it. And I guess he's misconstruing that, or misinterpreting it for everyone to say, oh no, you were a mod. Like, no, based on what I'm seeing now, because I actually never saw these screenshots. Based on these screenshots, it seems like all she was just told was ignore it. It's not like she was told she had any power.
Very quickly, hi. She was at one point a mod. I cannot say exactly when. Mm-hmm. Rebecca had her server set up. Do you want to? I'm gonna tell you the most autistic way I've seen a server set up.
Go ahead.
So Rebecca had 5 levels of moderation. Level 1, Sector 1, all that you could do was delete messages, and Sector 5 had full perms. She would randomly move people into Sectors like 1 and 2 if she liked you that day, and then she would remove you if she didn't like you the next day. So Rosa was mod at different points, but I don't know exactly what permissions she had, and her mod status would only last a few hours to a few days at most. So it's very confusing at that point as to what powers she actually did have. And I know the chats that you're talking about, because they come from my direct messages. I'm calling me no if you haven't noticed by now. Mm-hmm. The messages were in August of 2021. Mm-hmm. Where she's speaking to Rebecca directly about it. And while myself, Endo, VB, and everybody else had gone to her multiple times about it, every single time she would listen to whatever Rebecca had stated instead of listening to us. The only time that we got close to having her actually understand the situation was she got doxxed by Kiwi Farms, and she had a mutual with me named Broly. So... Mm-hmm. Her, and then she was also friendly with Perry, who I'm really close with to this day. And we all calmed her down, and then we tried showing her everything that Rebecca had stated about her, because behind the scenes, Rebecca in I think it was called Discussion This Over. Rebecca was going around and saying that Rosa was just this crazy stalker of hers, this crazy fan, that she's unhinged and insane, and was just bad mouthing Rosa.
Oh Jesus!
But then we had Rosa look into the situation. It was Perry and I, and when Rosa was understanding what had happened, Star came back and promised Rosa the fucking world if she would quit looking into the situation.
So then
The
that
fucking
confirms what
world.
then that confirms what I was saying to Coda in Discord. Rebecca was only surrounding herself with yes men, which is that people who will always agree with her and always surround her. That's where I think everyone from Senate, or at least the people who are aware of this, from Lyle to Peaches, they are fully aware that the majority of this, everything about it, is Rebecca's fault. It was Rebecca. She was doing everything she could to hold this person in there. Some of these people who we were going after didn't even have power to do anything.
Well, there's where it gets even harder because they technically were moderator, which is why I'm willing to say they were because of the 5 sectors. It's the amount of power that they had, which people need to look into, because it's not very often that you have 5 different levels of moderation, with one of them just being able to delete messages. And that's a factor that I've seen everybody leaving out, and it's insane.
But even so, there were other moderators aside from Rosa who I'd assume were probably mods longer and probably more consistent at some point than Rosa was, that should be more responsible than her.
I'm going to say something as well. So you guys know how Sector 5 was the highest level of moderator. Another reason, back in the day, none of us really thought about it until later. So when we were going after Necopon, we had Redbow Fron, or Dasonic fan lover, and they ended up getting hacked by people that Necopon hired. They were Sector 5 and made it a point that Necopon needed to go. And when they were going to take matters into their own hands and just remove Necopon regardless of Rebecca's wishes, what Rebecca did is, and this is why a lot of people were powerless too, is they had removed moderation status from the Sonic Lover fan forever. They never got it back, and they moved Necopon to Sector 5, which was the highest mod status. So people at a lower mod status couldn't do shit at that point, even at the same mod status.
So even if I'm sorry. So even if Rosa did have power to do something, Rebecca would have just undone it and would have likely given Necopon power anyways, right?
Yeah, pretty well. And that's why other moderators like Dar the Star or 2K Mage now, they went to me about this stuff. They were the one who informed me in specific, no matter how much they all hated me. Like Classic Game Fan, the Sonic Lover fan, Dar the Star in particular, they were like the main 3. They'd go to me saying, hey, there's a predator in here. We need help. Rebecca's not doing anything. We're powerless. We need you to step in. Which I don't like that Lio was apparently calling the police on Dar in a call. Because Dar was one of the few people who actually... Yeah. Dar was one of the few people who actually tried to help out and actually tried to listen. The first time that she went to hear us out was... we didn't even ask her to. She just wanted to do it on her own free will. It was in a live discussion I had with Mystic Mongrel. It was a 7-hour live stream. And Dar came in, and she was hearing us out. Everything was going good. And then Rebecca's server members started flooding into the chat, and Dar got harassed and bullied. By the end of it, Dar was crying. Dar was suicidal. Dar got blocked by all of them. Dar got banned. They didn't let her have her mod status back for like 2-3 months after this. And they were all just, when she got into call afterwards, they were all screaming at her, going on about how horrible of a person she was. Oh, you knew that Mongrel was this kind of person. You know that Necopon is your friend. How dare you betray your friend? And by the end of it, Dar was just, for weeks after that, Dar was like just a mess and was just horrified of Rebecca. And a lot of people that I've spoken to, like Gary Fan, and I think even Maddie A, Scott Productions, Ashton Fennell, they rode by Rebecca's side out of fear of what she would do to them if they ever stepped out of line because of what she'd already done to them in the past.
So anyway, I've got to cut this short because I'm actually it's getting pretty late over where I'm at, and we're going to be moving soon. So, out of fear.
No
But
worries.
if you guys have one more question to ask, then I can leave with a final statement, which is just more so a message to everyone about the situation.
Go for it.
Okay, so the final message would just be this. Everyone who is accusing everyone of defending Rosa, the defense is not because of what Rosa did. Everyone, including Zay and Omnia, are in acknowledgement that Rosa did, know about this, and it took her time to do something or at least see what was going on. But at the end of the day, the blame is on Rebecca. Rebecca is the one doing this and abusing her members and is the one doing all of this. So do not give Rosa any more shit. And to people in the Senate, something needs to be done. That place is very disorganized and it's a horrific place. It needs to go. Now, I am obviously, like I said, going to keep my channel up. Twitter will be gone soon. I might just stay on Discord because I got some personal friends here. Then I don't want to have to go adding people again. And so I might just stay on Discord.
No worries.
So anyway, thank you guys for your time. I'm glad I could clear up a lot of misinformation. I'm glad I could bring in a lot of more information. It's about time someone, exposed what was going on.
Yeah.
All right. I hope
Thank you
your
for your
trip goes
time.
well.
Yep. You guys all take care. I'll stay in the Discord chat and just keep you guys updated in case anything happens. But other than that, thank you all for your time.
No worries. You have a good one.
You take care.
Yep.
Take care.